Hi, I'm Sydney.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Jeremy Garcia.
I'm Jeremy Soriano.
And I'm Kendall.
All right, and our advisor is Dr. Nigel Newbutt. To reiterate, PuzzlePeace is a mobile app that is intended for caretakers of people with autism to document their experiences with their dependents' autistic meltdowns. This app allows them to document those encounters and those events with features such as what triggered the meltdown, what behaviors the child exhibited, and what resolution techniques were used to resolve the meltdown.
So the features are completed are login and sign up pages, the database setup, and the home and settings page design. The features that are in progress are the statistics page, the customization page, the settings page functionality, the new entry submission, data handling, and the profile pictures.
Yep, so we have a live demo prepared. We've made a lot of progress on this mobile app. So this is the landing page. It has the app name, which is actually a work in progress, and our logo. And yeah, we have two buttons here. Get started to make a new account and a login button. If you already have an account, just enter your email password. There's also forget password option, and that's if you need that. So yeah, to create a new account, we can create a random profile, your email, password, and name, create an account that's saved in our Firebase database. And this is still a work in progress, but basically you're supposed to be able to create a new child by entering their name, and then you can create, input their birthday with this, let's see, component we have here, comma select component. And this is a work in progress, but we want to be able to add profile pictures to make it more personable for each child. And yeah, once you submit that, we have some mock data loaded here in case you have multiple children. So this would be like the scenario if you were a sort of a teacher, caregiver, this would be your classroom of children, and you'd be able to select different child profiles to manage. So for instance, if you wanted to select Jamar here, you'd be entering the main part of our app. So this is the home page, which has the history of entries in reverse chronological order. And basically each entry is going to have the date, the time, location of the meltdown. This is the intensity level, which actually changes color. So the 5 and highest would be like sort of a yellow color, while 1, which would be the lower intensity levels, would be more green. This is the behavior, so you can quickly reference each meltdown by its behavior. And then we also wanted to provide the self-written note that each caregiver would provide. So yeah, this is a work in progress, but this is a new entry page, which basically you'd be able to input everything in each entry. So yeah, once you select any entry, that will provide the full summary of the entry, which includes what happened before. This is going to be the triggers, what happened during, which is going to be the meltdowns, and what happened after, which is going to be the resolution techniques or any interventions that were used to attempt to resolve the meltdown. And then we're going to also include the note stuff written. And also here's the time and location and all that very important information. So that's, yeah, a work in progress of the styling, all of that. And a very important page we have is the stats page, which is going to reference all the meltdowns within a certain time frame, such as the past week, month, 3 months, etc. And yeah, the four, I guess, main stats we want to show is the total meltdowns that occurred during the time frame, the duration, average duration of the meltdown, most used resolution techniques, such as here we had a fidget toy example, and a common trigger, English common trigger. And then we also want to include charts to track the intensity levels and all that over the time frame, see how your child's progressing over the meltdown, and all kinds of charts like that, trying to provide as much information, useful information for the caregivers of the child to help them better resolve the meltdowns in the future. Here we have the settings page. There's going to be the profile of the caregiver here. They can modify to be soon implemented with Firebase functions. And all the children of the caregiver has access to is going to have their own settings page here. They can modify all of that. Birthday picture. You can modify your relationship to the child. And so you're no longer, I guess, a parent of the child. You want to fix that to be the teacher of the child. You have that option here. This is another work in progress. We wanted to provide like presets of common triggers, behaviors, and resolutions. So you can quickly select those in the new entry tab page and to quickly log those common triggers, behaviors, and resolutions for meltdown. Here we have a shared child access. This will basically generate a code. So you can share with other caregivers access to Alice's profile. And so multiple caregivers can log meltdowns and they'll be provided on the homepage. And these three features are going to be shown only to the primary caregiver, which can be changed with this button. Basically, you can revoke child access from other caregivers and you can delete that child profile. Other than that, though, I believe that's all we've implemented. It's going to be, so far we have mainly the front end components. And so the next half, we're going to be working mainly on the back end stuff.
Our testing plan involves both unit testing and testing with focus groups. So for unit testing, we'll be testing user authentication and entry handling. Just anywhere where the user is putting input into our app, we want to make sure that those functions are working well and that nothing they put in can break the app. For real world testing, we want to get feedback from the intended users. So those are caretakers and educators of autistic individuals who we know, and so we get their feedback on the ease of use of the app, how accessible it is, and whether we need to refine or optimize any of the features.
So for our issues and strategies, we did run into a couple of issues. One of the issues we ran into was past entry summaries don't display the data. And a second one was certain components on the stats page have text overflow, which you could see in the demo, one of the boxes, the text was overflowing on it. And the third one is a few of the new profile features are not saved just because we haven't implemented them into the database yet. And our strategies for fixing those are just finish implementing the database calls, finish adding styling, and just configuring the database so we can store those profile names and pictures.
For the individual responsibilities, my tasks include like finishing up the new entry pages, like the before, during, and after blocks. The plan of development include referencing the Figma we have in the React Native documentations.
For my individual responsibilities, I'm just going to continue designing and implementing the select and add child pages, as well as the just creating an account first name database storing functionality. So making sure that that is successfully stored in the database. And I'm also going to be working on a separate forget password page. And to do that, I'm just going to reference the Figma as well as Sharon's UI designs, reference the current forget password integration because that is currently integrated. We're just adding another page for it. As well as just doing some research on the database for adding and storing children so that those can be accessed on the select child page.
For my individual responsibilities, my tasks include finishing the settings page functionality, finishing the child access management, and assisting with backend implementations throughout the project. And my plan of development include implementing Firebase functions to modify profiles that should complete the settings page, and also generating secure child access codes to be shared amongst caregivers, and that will complete the child access management.
I'm dealing with everything related to the statistics page, basically. So that includes implementing data retrieval, that includes actually making functions that analyze the data that we can display on charts, and that includes learning how to use the external libraries that help us create those charts. And again, just for my plan of development, I'm going to keep writing Firebase queries. I'm going to be integrating the React Native Charts wrapper library, and I'll be designing and implementing more analytics functions as I need them.
And my individual responsibilities are going to be designing those or implementing the customization pages and designing some real world user testing. So that'll just be developing the customization pages in line with how we've designed our UI, and then creating some questionnaires and designing tests to get feedback about the app's features from users. Thank you for watching. That's all.
Thank you.